Burbage Electric Plumbing and Construction, Griffin Insurance, and Knox County Veteran Services. Now get ready for the show. The Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Live from the WMVO studios.
All right, and a good Monday night to you here on WMVO. Skipped last week for, there's some big football game going on. I don't know. But we didn't do the show last week. We're back out of here this week featuring the Mount Vernon Yellow Jacket boys basketball team and the Utica Redskins boys basketball team. They face off in Licking County League play tomorrow night. And that will be taking place at the Hive, and we'll have it on our WMVO Facebook page. Curtis will be at that one, and we're excited about that. And then, of course, Wednesday night we're at Centerburg for the game of the season so far for us, as it will be Centerburg and Fredericktown playing for the Knoxmore Athletic Conference Championship in girls basketball. And the pregame begins around 6 o'clock, and then we'll get moving with that. All right. If you look in here right now and you say, where's Nick Coop? What happened to him? Yeah, he's sick tonight. So, thanks, though, to Nick for not bailing on me and still sending the guys out here. Tim Dirks is with it. I'm going to have you pull that mic towards you there. Isaiah Collenberg and Nikos Giacomis, we appreciate them joining us. Isaiah, the last I checked, leads the team in scoring, and Nikos hit a huge game winner. That was pretty awesome. Yeah. I just really wish I was the one on the call and not Curtis. And he'll badger me for that as well. We'll talk with the players here a little bit as well. By the way, Mount Vernon comes in with a record of 9-6, 6-4 in the Licking County League tomorrow night, and we're excited about having that game on. Tim, let's talk a little bit about you first, though. How long you been part of this Mount Vernon staff, and how long you been involved with high school hoops?
With the Mount Vernon staff, this is my first year.
Oh, one year. All right.
So a total of, I guess starting in June to current day, we're about 8 months, but loving every minute of it. Basketball-wise, I go way back. Yeah. 30-plus years of coaching in Ohio and in Georgia. So we just moved back my wife and I, from Atlanta, Georgia. Family's still here. Came from Newark, Ohio, is where I played, and played at Otterbein. So I got deep roots in basketball here, but love that I'm part of this. Yeah. And these guys are awesome, and Coach Kuhn's been awesome. So good things are happening with basketball.
You go to Atlanta for the national championship? I mean, no. You wanted to, didn't you?
I could tell you the story. I had tickets for the Final Four the COVID year. So I was just down the road. So anyways, devastating what happened there, but no, I didn't make it back for the national championship.
We appreciate you joining us here on the program here, and as I mentioned, Isaiah Collenberg, Nikos Giacomis with us as well. Coach, you look at this Mount Vernon Yellow Jacket team, and we went into the season, we said, look, they're not going to have a lot of size, which has become almost a theme. Other than the year Bo Bridges was here, there's not a whole lot of size there about Vernon year in and year out, so you're going to have to out-hustle people, get up and down the floor quicker, and right now you're 9-6. What do you see with this group? What are the positives that you've seen throughout this season as now we're in the latter part of January? The tournament draw comes up in about, it's 2 weweeks from yesterday. So what do you see with this group that you like? Some of the things you say, hey, despite the fact that it's late January, we still have things to improve upon.
Yeah, and we do. And I think if you talk to the guys we know, we're senior-led. There's 9 guys that primarily rotate, but 7 of those 9 are seniors. Yeah. And they play together. They're unselfish. If you look at our scoring, you'll see that we've got 3 guys averaging double figures and 1 on the verge, so almost 4 guys. Yeah. So they share the basketball. And we're 2 games out of first place. Yeah. And so we've got a lot to play for. And as far as the district run for seeding, I mean, they know. And so there's some work ahead of us, but good things are happening. And I love this team because of how unselfish they are.
You look at the RPI coming into tonight, you guys are number 6 in Division 2 now. It's not Division 1 anymore, just the way that it's all been out. But Licking Heights is in there, and Westerville North, New Albany, Big Walnut, Northland. So there's some darn good basketball teams in there that you guys will be competing with as well. But in terms of Licking County League, you've spent time in Licking County, so you know kind of a little bit about this. What stands out about the Licking County League this year? With Granville's usually a good basketball team. Licking Heights is flying around with the basketball. What do you see with the Licking County League?
Yeah, we know firsthand. I mean, you don't want to fear anybody, but you have to respect everybody, whether it's the large school division or the small school division. I know that we just beat Heath. It's a 12-1, 13-1 team. Yeah. They are really good. Yeah. And then we beat Licking Heights. But then, we played a Northridge team that caught us on a night where we maybe weren't ready. So you got to be ready to play every night in the LCL. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You got to respect everybody because it's a solid league with good basketball.
I'm going to ask you one more thing, and we'll talk with the players here a little bit too. But the Lincoln County League is kind of interesting because you play like 16 league games or something like that. So you still got number of league games remaining. I guess 6 league games remaining, right?
Yes, 6 league games remaining. A lot can happen in the next couple of weeks. So we're still in the hunt. We know.
We're planning on being in all the home games the rest of this way. We're going to be at all those ones, and including against planning on being there against Zanesville as well. And I know you guys went to Zanesville and took care of business there. But I want to ask the players a little bit. First off, Isaiah, what's it been like in Lincoln County League? You played the Mansfield Seniors and the Lexingtons of the world in the OCC last year, and now you're playing in the Lincoln County League. Do you like it? Do you like the switch? Do you say, I like the OCC more?
Well, I definitely really like the OCC. I thought every night was competitive. But
sure.
The LCL, I've had so much fun. I mean, Lincoln Valley game was fun. Lincoln Heights game was fun. Heath game was fun. I mean, I can just go on.
Yeah, those Lincoln Valley games though, very close matchups, and in the 30s in that last game that you guys played. What stood out in that ball game? You lose by a point, 36-35.
Well, I felt like we were getting the stops we needed all game. Until that one possession, he hit a floater or something. But what stood out was it was kind of slower paced. But I think we handled the defense at the end. But we had a lot to improve on offense.
Yeah. Nikos Giacobis, you look at this season in Lincoln County League. You like the Lincoln County League? You like how it's? Obviously right now you guys are sitting 6-4. But do you like kind of the switch in the Lincoln County League?
Yeah. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's just basketball. So whoever we go up against,
you got to play who you got to play.
Yeah.
And
we play basketball.
Those are some. When Mansfield Senior brought fans over, you really didn't know what was going to happen. Go crazy with it too. You look back at the Licking Valley. You played them twice. Licking Valley. You lost both times. One by 1 point. One by 2 points. Isaiah kind of mentioned about that last ball game. What maybe stood out in both of those games for you in a 1 point loss and a 2 point loss against Licking Valley?
Obviously they're a good team. I feel like we could have handled the basketball better in both of those games. We had quite a few turnovers both games, so I don't know if that's credit to their defense or just us not executing well. But yeah, it's close games. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. And what did Nick say afterward? Take care of the ball?
Yeah,
probably. Tim, you look at these close ball games, and as Isaiah was mentioning, it's a battle night in and night out with these games. Licking Valley, we mentioned, and the one against Heath we're going to talk about too. But in those games against Licking Valley, from a coach's perspective, what stood out to you?
Yeah, it was a chess match. At Licking Valley, we'll change defenses. And Nico said it. It really came down to ball security for us. And if you look at both games, you could say what was the trend, and I think it would be turnovers and maybe giving up offensive rebounds. But defensively, and if Coach Kuhn were sitting here, he'd say this because he said it in the office. It was, if you said before the game that we were going to hold the opponent to 36 points, you would say, probably going to win.
Sign up.
Yeah, but then if you said, hey, we had 20 turnovers, you'd say, I don't know if we'd win. So, some of it is us taking care of the ball. But Licking Valley did a really good job at running a 1-3-1 half-court trap, and it caused some problems for us. But we'll get better.
With the lack of size, too, getting out in transition, it speeds up the game a little bit. Maybe you have a couple more turnovers than you normally would if you play in like the half court, right? In a situation like that. And so those kind of things happen. But let's go back to the Heath game. Yeah. That's a good program. They've been good since I was at high school, and that was a long time ago. They have a good program there. You went on the road and you beat Heath on the road. What stood out in that ball game? As you mentioned, I think they had one loss going into it, and you guys took care of business last Tuesday.
Yeah, again, it's a credit to, Coach Kuhn adopting and saying, listen, we're going to be committed to the defensive end of the floor. And so our kids move in the defensive end. And so I think they were very frustrated with our defense and had a hard time attacking it. And so, again, a credit. We took care of the ball that game. They did as well. And that's one of their assets as a team is that they don't make mistakes with the basketball. But we really slowed the pace down, and in the end, we separated. But, Coach Falk does an incredible job over there, and his kids are very skilled. Not big, but it's hard to turn them over. And so we scored when we needed to, and we took care of the ball.
Yeah, it's a good basketball program in general there. Look at it, Isaiah. That's a win. We talked about the losses, and what went right in a win against Heath on the road?
Well, like Coach said, it's all started on the defensive end, and I think that allowed for our offense to open up a little bit more, and we always play together. We play forward, and I think that was one of our best games we played this season.
Yeah, and I remember seeing you guys at Highland too, and it was forcing turnovers, getting out transition, and that's kind of the recipe for you guys. It's just get out in transition, get some easy buckets there. And Nikos, as you look at the game against Heath, what really stood out in that ball game? Kind of the same thing these guys are saying.
Yeah, I mean, just like they said, they were very patient on offense, so it was just not being frustrated and trying to take the ball away from them, just holding them to one shot, really, and then timely scores, basically.
It's a 36. Wait a minute, that game was at the 36. But when you play the games like the 36, 35, and things like that with like Licking Valley, are those like fun games or are they like nerve wracking? You're like, we're in the 30s right now playing a high school basketball game.
I mean, you don't really realize it in the game, but after you see, like, wow, we didn't score even 40.
That's how it was when my senior year of high school, we played Fredericktown. It'd be like 36-32, and you'd be like, we're playing high school basketball. It's 36-32. But hey, sometimes that's just the way it goes there. We're going to be talking about the matchups this week. Of course, the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets get a chance to play at home for a couple of nights against Utica, and Watkins Memorial will be there for both their games this week. Also going to talk a little bit about the Delaware Hayes and Newark game. And, of course, tournament time is just around the corner here, and it's coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about the tournament draw and things like that. The program, Tim Dirks with us, Isaiah Collenberg, Nikos Giacomis from Mount Vernon Yellow Jacket Basketball. Tonight's show presented by Griffin Insurance and brought to you in part by Durko's Pizza and Subs, Knox Community Hospital, Covage Electric and Construction, and Knox County Veteran Services. Let's take this break. We'll come back. More coming up.
He's ONN.
ONN Sports. I'm Cole Bartemus. Ohio State defensive coordinator Jim Knowles is now officially former Ohio State defensive coordinator. Knowles is going to State College to perform the same job for the Nittany Lions. The deal that Penn State offered Knowles was unprecedented. It's a 3-year, $9.3 million deal, and it will be the first time that any collegiate coordinator will make north of $3 million in a season. Also in football, we have a Super Bowl rematch from a couple years ago. The Eagles forced 3 fumbles and recovered said 3 fumbles on top of rushing for 7 touchdowns en route to a blowout victory over the Commanders. And stop me if you've heard this before, but the Bills had their season ended by the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are vying to be the first team to ever win 3 consecutive Super Bowls, and Patrick Mahomes has just surpassed Dan Marino as the second winningest quarterback in postseason history. To no one's surprise, Tom Brady still resides in first place. In other sports, the Cavaliers host the Pistons tonight in Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. The Cavs boast an Eastern Conference best 36-9 record, but they are currently suffering a 3-game losing streak. In college basketball, the Buckeyes play host to the Iowa Hawkeyes this evening. Cincinnati got blown out in Provo over the weekend, losing 80-52 to BYU. Dayton beat St. Joseph's on Friday night, 77-72. Akron and Miami were both undefeated in conference play leading up to Saturday's matchup. Akron left the building with a huge statement victory, beating Miami by 27 points. And the state of Ohio went 2-0 in Horizon League play over the weekend. Wright State beat Detroit Mercy by 17, and a really good Cleveland State team advances to 10-1 in conference play with the win over Wisconsin Green Bay. I'm Cole Bartemus, Ohio News Network.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
You never thought your child would get their own home, but it needs new wiring pulled and the kitchen could use a makeover. It's time to get in touch with Covage Electric and Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004.
Covage Electric and Construction is a proud sponsor for all the local high school teams.
Covage Electric and Construction, 740-627-8004.
Battling addiction? Take the first step to getting your life back with New Vision Medical Stabilization at Knox Community Hospital, where you're treated with dignity. New Vision provides inpatient detox services for adults experiencing acute withdrawal symptoms from certain drugs or alcohol. Same-day admissions. Medicaid, Medicare, and most insurance accepted. Addiction is a treatable disease. Call New Vision today at 740-399-3232 3893.
Hi, I'm Dean.
And I'm Don.
We are Durka's Pizza, home of the famous Stromboli. Specialty pizzas, 16 different subs. We have homemade dinners, salads made fresh.
Lunch specials, daily specials, and of course, the Munchie menu. Chicken wings, cheese breadsticks, mac and cheese wedges. Call 740-392-5678.
Delivery or pickup. Durka's Pizza.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
All right, welcome back. Here it is, the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. We got to get these guys over to the high school to watch the girls' game here in about 10 minutes. So we'll get you guys out of here to do that. Appreciate you stopping by and eating some pizza and talking hoops with us. But one of the things we want to talk about is the fact that when you guys went to even the OCC and now moving over to the LCL, one thing that Nick Kuhn mentioned to me, he said, we want to keep the Delaware Hayes games and we want to keep the Newark games because these are traditional games, rivalry games, and you guys were able to keep them. And it really gets you prepared, right, for tournament play because these are high-quality programs year in and year out. Always seems like Delaware Hayes has, well, it's Khalil Iverson or Matt Bengaya before him, or then you had Jesse Burris, who now plays at OU, and now you got Landon Vanderwerker. They've always got some talent, but it shows you guys what you have. So going back to the Delaware Hayes game, we were at that ball game, and it was not a very good first quarter, 31 points, 31-8. But when you look at it on paper, you guys were only outscored, by 4 points the rest of the game, and still lose the game. But did you see the progress throughout the game, Tim, from where you guys are down 23? There was no quit. There's never any quit with this team. Right. And you guys were able to at least, make it respectable there and show that you can play with these guys and if you don't get that rough start there.
Yeah, Coach Kuhn and the kids, they'll remember. I mean, he everything's a teachable moment.
Yeah.
It was a bad first quarter, and we knew it. And to their credit, they shot lights out.
They couldn't miss. So, Griggs can hit everything.
Yeah, and you take a player like Vanderwalker, and he takes it to another level. And the way they attacked our zone was effective, but not many teams. And again, I'm not taking anything away, but shoot that well. Yeah. And we turned the ball over, and then next thing you know. But to your point, quarters 2, 3, and 4. We're competing, and so you learn from those moments and you carry those forward. But I thought Coach, embraced it and just said, "Hey, we're going to learn from this," and Delaware will continue to be on our schedule, and Newark will continue. It makes us better. Yeah. It truly does.
And you're getting an opportunity to play them at home. And look, they hit 5 threes in the first quarter. I mean, the Griggs kid, I think, hit 3 alone, and they had different guys just hitting shots from all over the floor. And sometimes they fall, and you fall behind, and there's not a lot you can do there. But, Isaiah, as you look back at that game, did you feel like you guys, though you got that poor start there, really competed throughout that ball game and saw some good competition, something that you're probably going to see come tournament time?
Yeah, so after the first quarter, I think Coach told us, against this kind of team, it's going to be hard to come back, but what you can do is you can go out there and compete, hold your head high, and just get better. At the end of the day, it's just getting better at that point.
Yeah, you look at it, Nikos, what stood out in that game, maybe some of the things you guys took for that ball game?
Definitely how fast and physical Delaware was. And just seeing them move the ball and just obviously hit shots, but just see the type of execution needed to beat a team like that.
Yeah, the Delaware Hayes is just like you say, they're good year in and year out, and you got to get back to that point to get back on the winning side because it's that rivalry matchup. As I mentioned, it's you want to win in your rivalry games, and they're always going to be on the schedule there. Then you take on Newark, and again, good basketball program. Jeff Quackenbush has a program over there that's very good, and I believe it was tied at the half against Newark, and they came out in the second half and capitalized on some things. What stood out to you in the Newark game there?
Yeah, just with Newark, that they don't make a lot of mistakes.
Sure.
And so you're going to have to play a clean game. And what caught us in the third quarter was turnovers. Yeah. And we know that, but, man, that first half, we played an incredible basketball game. And we were solid with the basketball. timely. In fact, we probably should have gone in with the lead.
Yeah.
And there were a few possessions there where, we turned it over. But, again, another learning opportunity there. And if you really look statistically, I mean, we scored 52 points. Newark is holding people into the low 40s right now. They're ranked in the top of the state. So we scored more than most teams do, and our shooting percentage was pretty high compared to most other teams in the state. So we there's some good takeaways from that game.
Yeah, when I looked at when I was watching the video, it was just there's really two very good teams, and even in the Delaware Hayes game after that first quarter, it was just really good basketball between two teams. I mean, realistic, there weren't a lot of fouls. The pace was really good, and you guys proved what you could do. And then obviously Delaware Hayes has a good program there as well. You look at the Newark game, Isaiah. Anything stand out to you in that ball game?
Yeah. So against a team like that, they don't make many mistakes.
Yeah.
You got to play 4 out of 4 quarters with them, and in the third quarter we kind of fell apart a little bit, and you can't do that to win a ball game, but I think we did a lot of great stuff, and we really took some of that stuff and carried that on.
They play like really slow and deliberate once they get the lead too. It's like really hard because they're going to just take care of the basketball, and then you're kind of getting a little restless on defense, right? And it's like it gets a little tiring for you a little bit in that situation. But you guys stuck with them there, and I think they're in Division I. I don't think you're going to have to worry about running into them in tournament play there. Nico says you look at the game against Newark, good program, and you guys had a tie game, and then the third quarter, they take control of it there. But what stood out to you in that game?
What stood out most to me was that we can compete with almost every team that we play. Every team. And, obviously, aside from the third quarter, we were right there with them. So, again, it's just another step towards just being a better team.
Yeah, and you guys right now 5-3 at home this year. Losses by a combined 21 points, but it kind of skews the averages because of the Newark game to an extent. But really, you've had a lot of close games there, and it's a great place to play. The Hive's an awesome place to play. Now, Tim, I won't ask you what's the better place, if it's in Newark or if it's in Mount Vernon, because they're both really legendary gyms to play in.
Yeah, and I'm so old school, and these guys don't know my era was the 80s. But I had a chance to talk to just Mount Vernon is a special place to play basketball.
It is. Mm-hmm.
So if you ask me that question, I'm saying if I was a kid growing up in either community, you're just blessed to be able to play basketball in Mount Vernon or New York.
Yeah. It is a great place to play basketball. The energy in the gym, it's a lot of fun to get to games. I haven't gotten to as many this year because I've given some to Curtis. I need to start reeling him in a little bit and taking him back from him. But we're going to be there as the season goes on here and things. Fans are great there. Now, your dad, I can usually hear him yelling, Isaiah. I'm up there. I can hear him. He gets fired up.
Yeah, he does.
He's in the front row, too.
Yeah.
How great are the fans, though? I mean, the student section and the band gets hyped up. And sometimes do the drum line. I mean, it gets serious over there.
I love it. I mean, I got friends in the student section, family in the crowd, and they all support us. They all love us.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you know what? Fans are passionate at Mount Vernon. That's a great thing. Now, Nikos, what about at the Hive? It's pretty cool there, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, like Isaiah said, you got your friends and your family out there in the student section and the stands, so it's really a special place to be. I wish we could play all our games there, but obviously we can't. So.
I was there one night, and they did the silent night thing, and I've never been so uncomfortable broadcasting. So quiet in that gym. I'm like, and he's got it on the right point. I'm sounding like Jim Nance calling the Masters. Hey, he didn't really want to say a whole lot. It's like, I'm making too much noise. They want it to be quiet. This week, though, you're going to be at the Hive. Opportunity to play at home for a couple of games. Tuesday night against Utica. Friday night against Watkins Memorial. We're going to be at the game tomorrow night. Pre-game around 7:15. Curtis will be there once again. Live streaming on our WMVO Facebook page, WMVO on the radio. Utica Redskins, when you guys went into the Licking County League, and people would look at it and say, well, the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets, they're so much, they're so big in this conference and things like that, but they don't really realize the amount of talent between, the Licking Heights and the Licking Valleys and the Granvilles of this conference with this. And the Utica Redskins, their team, first-year head coach, we're going to be talking with them here coming up as well, but they're a team that can hit shots, and if they get hot, you guys could be in trouble too. So you got to be able to hit shots and play defense, and you got a couple of big games at home this week, Tim.
Yeah, we were talking just before. I mean, we're going to pray that we get a home game in the tournament, but there's 3 regular season games left at home. And for seniors, I mean, it starts to become sentimental. So we need to take advantage of that opportunity. And Utica's going to be prepared. I mean, we're neighbors. And so,
Not very far.
so like I said, we've got to respect everybody. And we know that we've got to be ready to play. But we want to take advantage of being at home. I mean, that should be an advantage for any team, but especially with our environment. But, for these kids, I just want it to go well.
Isaiah, what do you want to see from maybe you and your teammates this week? 2 games at home, one tomorrow night against Utica, and then Watkins Memorial Friday night.
Well, I obviously want to win, first of all.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, we just got 3 home games is starting to sit in, and I've been with these guys for 5-6 years, and I just want to make the most out of it.
All right. Well, maybe you get a home game in the tournament too there, and like you mentioned, and get an extra one there. Nikos, what do you want to see from your team?
Obviously, like I said, we want to win. But just taking it one game at a time. 3 more home games left as a senior. You want to take advantage of every moment you have. So just let it all sink in and just enjoying everything.
It always seems like a big senior class at Mount Vernon every single year that I there. Of course, the first year I was there, I mean, it was a humongous senior class back in 2010, and was a lot of fun to see that group, and this group has been really fun to watch too. And it's just like I say, if I could have just gotten the games where you're hitting game winners and instead of Curtis, then I teased him a lot about that. But as you look at the home stretch, how big is momentum, Tim? I mean, as you get into tournament play, you get some of these games at home, as you mentioned, and to have that momentum going into tournament play.
It's huge, and teams peak early, and I don't think we're that team at all. I really don't. And we've had a good stretch here in the last couple of weeks. I mean, obviously that loss at Licking Valley hurt, but Coach Kuhn brought all the guys in and said, "Listen, we got a lot to play for."
Yeah.
And so we're there, and we know what we need to do to become even better. And I think we're constantly working in practice and.
He said, and I think this year the way that it works is that there's only one district champion where you guys are kind of at in the thing in the bracket, so it makes it even tougher. You gotta, like you say, peak at the right time, hit your stride, and see what happens in tournament play in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys joining us here, and hopefully you enjoyed some Durko's pizza out there, and we're going to get you over that girls' basketball game. I told you I would. I appreciate Tim Dirks joining us, Isaiah Collenberg, Nikos Giacomas. Mount Vernon Yellow Jacket basketball. We're going to have it against Utica tomorrow night, and the pregame's around 7:15, live streaming on our WMVO Facebook page. Of course, WMVO on the radio, and then we'll have Friday night's contest as well. And then on Wednesday night, KMAC Showdown. Winner of Fredericktown and Centerburg girls basketball wins the KMAC. Pregame around 6 p.m. I'll be on the call for that one on Wednesday night. All right, let's take this break. We'll come back, and we'll talk more on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show coming up.
Time and Temperature is brought to you by
Knox County Veteran Services, located at 105 East Chestnut Street, Mount Vernon. Stop in and see us today.
It's 7:31. And 29 degrees.
You never thought your child would get their own home, but it needs new wiring pulled and the kitchen could use a makeover. It's time to get in touch with Cubbage Electric and Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004.
Cubbage Electric and Construction is a proud sponsor for all the local high school teams.
Cubbage Electric and Construction, 740-627-8004.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Join Curtis Newland Tuesday night from Mount Vernon High School for Cubbage Electric Plumbing and Construction High School basketball as the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets take on the Utica Redskins. They'll be on the air around 7:15 p.m. for high school basketball pregame action. Live streaming on the WMVO Facebook page and WMVO on the radio. And then it's tip-off for Mount Vernon and Utica from the Hive. Mount Vernon and Utica high school boys basketball Tuesday night from the Hive. Pregame around 7:15 on the WMVO Facebook page and 100.9 FM, 93.7 HD2 and WMVO.com. Presented by Cuppage Electric and Construction, Pizza Cottage, New Directions, and Mount Vernon Nazarene University. High school boys basketball from the Hive Tuesday night, Utica and Mount Vernon.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S. Early heart attack care is about recognizing the early signs and symptoms of a heart attack. Your quick response can save a life. Don't wait. Call 911 if you or a loved one experience chest tightness, fullness, or chest pain, discomfort in one or both arms, discomfort in your neck, jaw, or back, abdominal pain, nausea, shortness of breath, extreme anxiety, lightheadedness, cold sweats, or feeling like you might pass out. Do not drive. Call 911. To learn more, go to kch.org.
Hi, I'm Dean.
And I'm Don.
We are Durka's Pizza, home of the famous Stromboli, specialty pizzas, 16 different subs. We have homemade dinners, salads made fresh,
lunch specials, daily specials, and of course, the Munchie Menu. Chicken wings, cheese breadsticks, mac and cheese wedges. Call 740-392-5678.
Delivery or pickup. Durka's Pizza.
Here's your forecast on 100.9 FM and 93.7 HD2.
Chance for snow showers tonight, mainly in the overnight. Increasing clouds, low around 25. Going to be really breezy, too. Gust as high is nearly 40 miles per hour. Chance for snow showers on Tuesday, mainly in the morning. Partly sunny skies, though, with a high of 36. Slight chance for snow, partly sunny on Wednesday, with a high of 38, and once again, very breezy. That's your forecast on 100.9 FM, online, WMVO.com. All right, we're back here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. We thank the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets for joining us. Utica Redskins, first time we've got a chance to catch up with them this year. And we've got Kyle Gilbert, right? All right, I wrote that out, but I didn't put the T at the end, so I want to make sure that I didn't mess that up. Hunter McKinney and Hayden Quinniff, we appreciate you guys joining us, and we certainly appreciate Spencer Kendall joining us here. He's in his first year as head coach of the Utica Redskins and taking over for Brian Radeball. And we always, we try to always do it where Utica came in like the Monday after Christmas, but things, the national championship happened and we couldn't do a show then and stuff. So this is what we've done here. So, Spencer, I want to talk with you first, and then we'll get to the players and talk a little bit about this team. But for you, tell us kind of your journey here. And now, it's not often that I have a coach come in here that's younger than me. Yeah. But here we are. This is the situation. You're younger than me. So, what year you graduated from Utica and then kind of joined the staff? So, tell us a little bit about your transition here to head coach of the Redskins.
So, I graduated from Utica in 2013. Went over to Otterbein, was on the team there. Didn't play that much. I was on the team. And then after I graduated, I came home, needed a job, started coaching. I coached 1 year middle school, 7 years in the high school.
All right. So, and then Brian said, "I'm hanging it up." How did that go? Did he talk to you in the summer or something?
No. It was actually after a game we talked about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not sure." And then all of a sudden it was, "I'm sure I'm done." So,
yeah, and that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes when you've been doing it a long time, you realize that one time that, hey, you know what? I don't really want to do this anymore.
He had done it for a long time.
Yeah.
He was my coach. So
yeah.
It was good.
Well, I think Mike Delaney was there when I was in high school, and then Brian maybe took over the next year after that and was there from 2012, so a couple of years after. Of course, Mike's over at Highland now as the athletic director and everything. But so when you come into this year and you think about the program at Utica and you take over, did you want to – everybody kind of wants to do their own thing to an extent, but you also try to take things from what the previous coach did. Is that kind of the situation for you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So I had 2 different head coaches in high school. I had 2 different head coaches in college. So it sort of was what I liked from everybody, and we sort of tried to mesh everything together and what fits these guys the best. So.
What do you guys like to do? Get up and run? You like to play in the half court? What do you like to do?
We play a little bit of defense.
Yeah, play a little bit of defense.
So more or less we want to compete.
Yeah.
Try to play our game, not other people's. So we play okay speed, not incredibly fast. Get the shots we want.
Is this a young team? Old team?
So we're pretty young.
Yeah.
Including myself. We have one guy with varsity experience last year.
Yeah.
So we have 3 seniors. Kyle's one of them.
Yeah.
We started freshmen, so we're pretty young.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes the best thing is just to learn on the fly. And you get past the rough patches, and, hey, you go from there. Yeah. You learn from it. Kyle, you're a senior, as we mentioned there. How long have you been playing basketball all 4 years here? Yeah. Move that if you want to move that mic over there to you, so you can talk into that and things. So you had Brian as a coach there, and then Coach Kendall comes in here as well. What have you seen maybe in his first year here, and as a year in the latter part of January?
I've definitely seen a change from what he's done. I definitely think it's a lot better. He pushes us a lot more, and he adapts to us a lot more.
Yeah.
And seems to be working for us.
Yeah. And for you guys, as mentioned about getting up and down the floor, a lot of conditioning. I mean, Coach make you run quite a bit?
Yeah.
You know what? It'll pay off. That's what I had to do when I was at school. It's like, you've got to run some more. And they said, when they're tired at the end of the game, you won't be. So that's always good. But did you have some goals maybe going into your senior year? As Coach mentioned, pretty young team, maybe taking that leadership role for this team this year?
I just kind of came in with a blank mindset.
Yeah.
It was my first year on varsity, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Hunter, what year are you in school?
I'm a junior.
Junior year. So you got another year after this as well.
Yeah.
Coming into this year, what maybe goals that you had for yourself? Some of the things that you wanted to accomplish, some of the things you were hoping to see from this team as well.
I came in thinking that I was going to be the on-court leader, the guy who gets the energy going. The defensive guy.
Yeah.
Because last year, that's all I did
Yeah.
for varsity was just play defense.
Just play defense.
Yeah.
Didn't try to score the ball. Dennis Rodman, right?
Pretty much. Now I'm just trying to get them into the varsity experience, have fun, and play ball.
Pick up some wins on the way, right?
Yeah.
That's always fun, too. And Hayden, you looking at it this year. What year are you in school?
I'm a junior.
Junior year as well. What do you want to see from yourself? Some of the things maybe you worked on during the summer, some of the things going into this year that you wanted to see?
Well, I did a lot of basketball during the summer. I did the Newark Summer League.
Yeah.
And really, I wasn't expecting to get too many minutes on varsity when I first started in the summer. But then I grew a lot, and I've got my starting spot now, so I'm just working on keeping it right now.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? And you like to hear that, right? That you want to keep your spot and continue to work hard. Spencer, as you look at this team and some of the youth, and I heard it before. I've heard it from different coaches throughout the years. I've been doing this since I was a sophomore in high school. I've been dealing with talking with coaches and things, but it's getting better and learning. Sometimes it's not about the wins and losses. Obviously, you want to win basketball games. Right. Nobody wants to lose, but we want to win games and things. But the process and setting a foundation, is that a key for you coming into this year?
Yeah, so the big premise I have for these guys is we talk about competing.
Yeah.
Being able to go compete. And that's where we have to start our bases. We've talked about, like, the LCL's a solid conference.
Yeah.
So going up against the big schools for us can be difficult, but if we go compete with them, it only makes us better.
Yeah.
So it's been the base for everything.
Yeah. You got the Valford and Yellow Jackets tomorrow night. Of course, we're going to be talking about that. But you took on Northridge on Friday. Northridge knocked off Mount Vernon earlier this season, and you guys fall 51-35. But looking back at that game now, as I mentioned, it's a latter part of January. So sometimes they say, well, if you're a junior, you're almost like a senior now. And if you're a sophomore, you're almost like a junior now, right? Because you've got all these games under your belt and things. But looking back at that ball game, it looked like maybe a tough third quarter in that one. But what stood out to you in that ball game, Spencer?
So actually, the third quarter, we were down 6 with a minute 47. And
Okay.
It turned into 12.
Oh, wow.
In that
Quick.
minute 47. A couple bad turnovers.
Yeah.
Not our best shots. Missed some things we could have made, and we missed. They made them.
Yeah.
So
those things happen, and so in a situation like that, when you come out of the locker room, and I'm not sure what the score was at the half and things, but what was kind of the message to your team in the locker room going into that second half against Northridge?
We hadn't played well offensively yet, but we were playing pretty well defensively. We were taking away their leading scorer. We were doing a really good job doing everything we needed to. So we stay on it. We had a couple changes we needed to do. Got them all hyped up, ready to go. We just missed some shots.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes there's that lid on the bucket, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Right. It just happens that way. Kyle, looking back at that game against Northridge, what stood out to you in that game?
I think we really did a good job taking away their big man in the paint, but then he managed to hit some threes after we took him away in the paint. They just went on a run where we had a bunch of bad turnovers and bad shots, and that kind of just got it too big of a lead to come back.
Yeah, Hunter, turnovers can kill you. We were talking about it with Mount Vernon too right before we came in here today. Turnovers are a big thing, and tell us a little bit about that third quarter and kind of that shift there, especially late in the quarter.
At the beginning of the quarter, we were doing really well. I don't even know, honestly. It just
things just spiral.
Yeah, it just spiraled out of control.
It just happens that way sometimes. Hey, what were your thoughts maybe on that game against Northridge, your last ball game?
Well, in that third quarter, I think our offensive movement started slowing down a little bit. I think into the fourth quarter we got better at it, but all them turnovers in the third kind of slowed us down on our momentum and everything.
Yeah, Spencer, when you're not moving without the basketball, that can cause issues. I don't know if that was the case. I wasn't there for that one though. But for a game against Northridge and that you lose by 16, what were some of the things you took away that were some of the positives, maybe?
For the most part, we did a really good job, like with our scouting report, knowing who to guard, who we had to take away. It happened to be guys that we wanted to take shots that made shots.
Yeah,
so,
and that happens.
We did compete all the way through.
Yeah.
There's been a couple games this year we haven't done that, so us doing that now it's good. It's good for the future. It's good for right now.
Yeah. Coach, I want to ask you, going back here, back all the way to December, a whole month ago, pick up your first career win at East Knox on the 30th of December. How did it feel? Picking up that first, getting the monkey off your back. I think you maybe lost the first 5 or 6 games at the beginning of the year, and then you go on the road and you win at East Knox. How awesome was it to get that first win under your belt?
Oh, it was pretty great. I needed it, but I think these guys deserved it. So seeing them celebrate after a win, that was pretty cool. That was what I wanted to see starting off the year.
Yeah. When you look at that game, what went right? Was that kind of the formula in that game against East Knox of what you want to see for your team?
Somebody had a pretty good game.
Yeah. But, how many did you have, Hunter?
24-26.
24-26. Boy.
We got everything we wanted, and we played some pretty good defense.
Yeah.
When you force turnovers, get easy buckets, it helps.
Yeah. Makes it a lot easier there for you. We're going to talk about this week. You got a game at Mount Vernon, of course, and then Friday you're going to host Johnstown as well. And we're going to talk about those games and things coming up the rest of the season. We appreciate the Utica Redskins joining us here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, also presented by Durko's Pizza and Subs, Knox Community Hospital, Coverage Electric, Plumbing and Construction, and Knox County Veteran Services. Let's take this break. We'll come back and more coming up on WMVO.
Is brought to you by Knox County Veteran Services, located at 105 East Chestnut Street, Mount Vernon. Stop in and see us today.
5 or 6
It's 7:46.
I want to talk a little bit about this week
and 29 degrees.
Going into this week, what you guys want to see.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
You never thought your child would get their own home, but it needs new wiring pulled and the kitchen could use a makeover. It's time to get in touch with Cubbage Electric and Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004.
Cubbage Electric and Construction is a proud sponsor for all the local high school teams.
Cubbage Electric and Construction, 740-627-8004.
Hi, I'm Dean.
And I'm Don.
We are Durko's Pizza, home of the famous Stromboli, specialty pizzas, 16 different subs. We have homemade dinners, salads made fresh,
Lunch specials, daily specials, and of course, the Munchie Menu. Chicken wings, cheese breadsticks, mac and cheese wedges. Call 740-392-5678.
delivery or pickup. Durko's Pizza.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S. Early heart attack care is about recognizing the early signs and symptoms of a heart attack. Your quick response can save a life. Don't wait. Call 911 if you or a loved one experience chest tightness, fullness, or chest pain, discomfort in one or both arms, discomfort in your neck, jaw, or back, abdominal pain, nausea, shortness of breath, extreme anxiety, lightheadedness, cold sweats, or feeling like you might pass out. Do not drive. Call 911. To learn more, go to kch.org.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
Filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
Here's your forecast on 100.9 FM and 93.7 HD2.
Chance for snow showers tonight, mainly in the overnight. Increasing clouds, low around 25. Going to be really breezy, too. Gust as high is nearly 40 miles per hour. Chance for snow showers on Tuesday, mainly in the morning. Partly sunny skies, though, with a high of 36. Slight chance for snow, partly sunny on Wednesday, with a high of 38, and once again, very breezy. That's your forecast on 100.9 FM, online, WMVO.com. All right, welcome back. Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Hey, we're going to be back at it next week as well, so keep that in mind. Back at it in February, and we'll roll through the first week in March as well. We appreciate the Utica Redskins boys basketball team joining us here. They take on the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets on the road tomorrow night. Coach Spencer Kendall with us here, playing the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets. Again, I was asking Mount Vernon, too, about just how this works with Lincoln County League. So you played, 16 conference games? Or is that...
So we play our side twice and the big side once.
All right. So that's how it works for you guys. Okay. I'm always confused, and I'll probably forget that going forward, too. Right. But getting an opportunity to play Mount Vernon, you and I were just talking off the air about the fact that, and when the mic's stuck, maybe on the air, too. But anyway, when we were talking a little bit about the fact that you were able to play Mount Vernon, too, and just the opportunity to play a team. You guys are in Licking County, but, kind of Knox, right on the verge of Knox County and stuff. So getting the opportunity to play a team like Mount Vernon, that's always a fun thing to do for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of going and play good competition. Yeah. They're always good, so it's fun to go up and go compete, see what we can do.
Yeah. Kyle, getting to play the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets opportunity here. Some people would say, well, the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets, there's an expectation that they're going to win. They're the bigger school and everything like that. But guess what? Basketball's not played on paper, so this doesn't matter. You just got to go in, and as we were talking about, you only have to be better than in one night. So getting an opportunity to play Mount Vernon, play at the Hive, how special is that for you? Is that something that you're looking forward to here this season?
Yeah, definitely, because the bigger schools have better environments to play in and more people, and it's an environment like no other.
Yeah. The Hive's a fun place to play there. Hunter, looking forward to that ball game tomorrow night against the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets?
Oh, yeah, I am. We played them last year at home.
Yeah.
There was quite a bit of people in the stands, but it'll be cool playing against a big crowd.
Yeah, and it's always pretty big there at Mount Vernon, and they can get loud. And hey, the Utica fans can get loud too. I've been there for that too. Hunter, the fans at Utica, they're pretty awesome too, right? I mean,
they are pretty awesome. They usually come to most away games too, which is really nice for them to come and support us.
Yeah, traveling around and you had to have that support there. Hayden, playing at the Hive tomorrow night against the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets, how's it feel to do something like that?
Oh, I definitely enjoy playing in the bigger schools. I mean, the courts are nicer, and there's definitely more people there, so I really enjoy the bigger schools.
Hey, you know what? Bigger schools, I mean, Same way for me. I went to Centerburg, so, Mount Vernon, of course, there's going to be more people there. Yeah, that's how it works. Coach, You're on the road, and then you're back at home against Johnstown this week. What do you want to see from your team this week in the two matchups? These are two good basketball teams that you're going to be playing in Mount Vernon and Johnstown this week.
So for this week, being two good teams, they're both winnable games for sure. But moral of the story is we got to go compete, see what we can do.
Yeah.
We want to be able to see if we can follow a game plan, see if we can really go execute when we need to.
Yeah. And, you look back at it, I was looking back at some of your stats and things like that. 40% of your losses this year by single digits. It's not like, these are blowouts every single night and you guys are just getting pummeled. It's close games. And those are games when you play in the close games, right, Coach, that eventually, once you go through and you learn how to play in those close games, the script kind of flips a little bit and you start winning those basketball games, right?
Yeah. And if you notice from the beginning to, like, the last close one was Zanesville, we were totally different in that, and we competed down the stretch instead of having to just go foul and make a couple shots down. Yeah. We don't.
Yeah. No, the Utica Redskins, Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets, going to have their game tomorrow night, and it will be at the High, pregame around 7:15 on the WMVO Facebook page. So we do want the Utica fans to come to the game, though. We want them to show up. So I'm not telling you not to show up, Utica fans. Get out there and support these guys. But if you decide it's too cold or something, WMVO Facebook page, or right here on WMVO on the radio as well. Of course, we are live streaming right now, too, so I say right now on the radio. It's on both. Anyway, we appreciate you guys joining us and talking some Utica Redskins basketball here tonight, and it's always a great opportunity to catch up with Utica. I know we get an opportunity like once a year to catch up with you.
Right.
I reached out to Brian. I said, can I have Spencer's number? And he gave me your number, and I was like, this guy's probably going to be like, who the heck is texting me right now? But hey, you know what? It worked out. For it. We appreciate you guys coming out, and hopefully you had some fun with us here tonight. It is the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Again, Wednesday night will also be at Centerburg, pregame around 6 p.m. But tomorrow night, Utica Redskins, Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets, WMVO Facebook page, WMVO on the radio. That's 100.9 FM, 93.7 HD2, and WMVO.com. We're excited about that ball game as the Redskins and the Yellow Jackets play at the Hive. So we got a lot of games for you this week, and this tomorrow night will not be the only time we'll see the Utica Redskins. Planning on being there next Saturday as well. We appreciate you guys joining us here, and once again, a big thanks to Griffin Insurance, our title sponsor, Durko's Pizza and Subs, Knox Community Hospital, Tunge Electric Plumbing and Construction, and Knox County Veteran Services. It's the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. We're going to do this again, all over again in the month of February, beginning next Monday, February the 3rd at 7 p.m., so join us for that. Thanks for joining us here on WMVO.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we